Hey guys, welcome to the walkthrough for January 29th's online farm commercial and tool auction. Let's get things started by looking at this AGT Industrial QH12 mini excavator, followed right up by an AGT Industrial LRT23 mini skid steer. Both of these things start and run have extremely low hours. If you're looking for something a little bit bigger, we have a Case IH 5120 diesel 4x4 tractor with a 3.9 liter diesel, a 540 PTO, and just under 10,000 hours. Moving on to the outside, let's get started with all the tires. We have a ton of tires on this auction. Of all different sizes, rims, no rims, you name it, we probably have it. So get online and check out the tires. After that, we have a number of lots of wood poles, anywhere from 10 to 20 feet. After that, we have a number of 3-point and skid steer attachments. One of the notable ones is a skid steer plow that's approximately 8 feet. Moving on to the next set of aisles, we have about 15 lots of poly pallets that are 43 by 43 inches. We also have a tractor cab off of an International 06 series to keep the weather off of you while you're working in your tractor. After that, we have a lot of 8 trusses that are approximately 28 feet if you happen to be doing a construction project. To finish off this aisle, we have numerous pallets of patio pavers and retaining wall blocks. On to the next aisle, we have 2 Dutchman skid steer tree spades. One is a 360i and the other one is a 480i. After that, we have a number of AGT Industrial, excavator, and skid steer attachments. Moving on to the trailer section, we have a 1994 Ready trailer that's 8 feet by 22 feet. Next to that, we have an International 1150 grinder mixer that works per seller. After that, we have a concrete mixer that does not run, but the motor is loose. After that, we have an H&S manure spreader that's approximately 13 feet by 5 feet with PTO. To follow that up, I believe what we have used to be a luggage wagon from an airport. That's 10 foot by 5 foot. Moving on to the vehicles section, we're going to start off with a 2006 Chevy 3500 that starts and runs. After that, we have a 2008 Chevy Uplander with a 3.6 engine that starts and runs. The last vehicle we have is a 2005 Ford F-150 with a 4.6 liter, that's gas, runs, but does not go forward. Moving to the inside, we have a John Deere 318 riding lawnmower with cab and snowblower attachment. This does start and run. After that, we do have a couple of vintage snowmobiles, a Yamaha SL292 and a Snowjet. Neither of these run, but they are loose. To follow that up, we have a Chicago welding cart that's approximately 15 inches by 27.5 inches by 29 inches. Right next to that, we have a Craftsman 10-inch radial arm saw that works per seller. After that, we have another saw. This one is a skill saw, table saw, 10-inch that works per seller. Moving to the back of the aisle, we have a 5-foot ATV plow with bracket. Right in front of that, we have a 1970 Olds 455 motor that's loose with transmission. Staying towards the back of the aisle, we have a John Deere Z225 zero-turn lawnmower. After that, we have a pallet of dunnage next to numerous pallets of kiln-dried wood of assorted sizes and types. Right in front of that, we have a black gold waste oil furnace that worked when it was removed. Following that up, we have a 50-gallon poultry feeder and 5 poultry transport cases. Looking to the front of the aisle, we have a DeWalt 10-inch table saw that works per seller. Following that up, we have a couple of pallets of assorted plywood. Then we have a pallet of Wagner brake parts that are unused. Right behind that, there's a pallet of assorted heater cores that are also unused. Moving to the front of the aisle, we have a hood, grill, and bumper off of a 1997 Ford F350. To finish off this aisle, we have 3 new Peterbilt bumpers off of a 389. And before we start on the next aisle, there's also the abandoned property lot. That's a ton of different stuff that people didn't pick up or didn't pay for. That's grouped together in one lot. The only thing is the buyer must take it all. Starting off the next aisle, we have 4 Firestone LT 265 70 R18 Transforce AT2 tires. Next up, we have a Ward's arc welder that works per seller. Staying in the vein of welders, there's a Miller Thunderbolt AC DC 230 volt single phase welder. After that, we have 4 pallets of assorted windshield wiper blades that are all unused. Next up, we have a Rigid model TP 13002 planer that works per seller. Then we have two wooden beams that are approximately 5 inches by 22.25 inches by 51.5 inches. And the other one is 5 inches by 21.75 inches by 73.5 inches. These would be awesome for making some tables. After that, we have two sets of unused tires for you. One set is 4 Michelin 245 by 55 R19s, and the other one is 4 Yokohama 235 45 R18s. Next up, we have a Quincy 3-phase air compressor that works per seller. Moving to the middle of the aisle, we have a Copland ATV plow that's approximately 5 foot. After that, we have a Rockwell Unisaw that's 3-phase and works per seller. Everyone say hi to the customer that's walking through as I'm videoing. Right behind him is a Craftsman joiner that works per seller. Staying at the front of the aisle, there's a 10 horsepower Baldor motor that's single phase 230 volt, but it's untested. Next up, there's an arc welder 250 amp AC/DC that's 208 230 volt single phase with helmet that works per seller. And that'll do it for this walkthrough of January 29th's online farm, commercial, and tool auction. We'll see you online.